and let us all do we can to build a better future.
So, the President of the United States, Joe Biden, visited Maui. Now, for those who don't know, the death toll stands at least between 111 and 114 right now. There are still 1,000 people unaccounted for, many of them children. The story is difficult to talk about because this is the most devastating fire not only in Hawaii's history, but in U.S. history. These are American citizens, and for the most part, they have been ignored. America last, American citizens last. And this president has constantly shown, him and his administration have constantly showed us that we are at the bottom of the totem pole. But many of our politicians have showed us this, be it Democrat or Republican. But I don't think I've ever seen anyone this out of touch. Now, to be fair here, Joe Biden is senile. He is old. He is not a spring chicken anymore. But vote blue no matter who. You put this curse upon us, this plague upon us, of a man named Joe Biden. Joe Biden, who has no business being president of the United States. Joe Biden, who constantly makes things about himself. Joe Biden, who is obviously presented by the vote blue no matter who as the most reasonable and best president ever. But the thing is, he isn't. Joe Biden is a failure. And Joe Biden, for one day in Maui, showed us that this man is not fit for office. I want to play this first video segment here of the President of the United States, where he brings up the deaths of his first wife and daughter while speaking in Maui, where at least 850 people technically still are missing and 100 plus have perished. He makes it about himself. And this won't be the first time he makes it about himself.
America's deadliest wildfire in over a century. And Jill and I have what's left, walked Front Street, what's left of it. We've surveyed the damage from the air as well. The devastation is overwhelming. To date, 114 dead, hundreds of people unaccounted for. I remember when I got the call, my first wife and daughter, I was a young senator, and I got a call in Washington. I hadn't been sworn in yet. I wasn't old enough. And I was hiring staff in the Capitol at Teddy Kennedy's office. And I got a phone call saying from my fire department, and the young first responder kind of panicked. You got to come home. There's been an accident. So what happened? He said, your wife, she's dead. Come home. Come home.
There's a difference here, Mr. President, Joe Biden, and vote blue no matter who. The people in Maui were abandoned and failed. The fire alarms, the sirens didn't go off. No one informed the people what to do or where to go. Many young children were left alone. The systems, the institutions failed the people of Maui. Biden, you're a U.S. senator. You were a U.S. senator at the time. Of course you're going to get a phone call. And that was just one incident. We're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of people left alone and abandoned. And you want to compare your tragic story, and it is a tragic story, and put it in comparison to what happened to a whole island community who were left to fend for themselves and had to wait for a week from a president, and especially during that first week where he says, we're looking into it. And the most infamous words that should forever resonate around this administration, and that is no comment. No comment. And he puts in comparison his story to what we have all witnessed in Maui. Two different things altogether. And this, vote blue, no matter who, is your champion, your dog in the fight. Thank you again for convincing me why I should not vote Democrat. I cannot wait to live rent-free in your heads, vote blue, no matter who. And I encourage my audience to do the same, to vote third party. And you know what, audience members who don't want to vote, go ahead and do that too. It's understandable.
The tractor trailer had broadsided her and killed her in a car accident along with my little daughter. And I remember all the way down from Washington home, wondering what a lot of people here are wondering. What about my two boys? How are they? They were in the car. I never got a read on that.
Oh yeah, but there's families, thousands and thousands of families wondering where's my grandpa? Where's my grandmother? Where's my son? Where's my daughter? Where are my cousins? Where's my wife? Where's my husband? What happened to them? The sirens didn't go off. And as I covered in a previous segment here on Heartless Media, those sirens are designed for tsunamis, hurricanes, man-made disasters, volcanoes, and jolly gee willikers, even wildfires. There are people still asking that question. Biden, when you had your tragic accident, at least you knew what happened. There are people who are going to be asking questions for years and years about why the state and federal authorities failed them, why no one did anything. Once again, if you're a U.S. citizen, just an average citizen, mind your own business, you do realize you're last in line, right? Just throwing it out there and just saying.
Were they going to be all right or badly injured? Were they going to make it? Had they made it? Until I walked into the emergency room and I saw that they were there. The difference between knowing somebody's gone and worrying whether they're available to come back are two different things. You know.
Thank you for saying those words for me, Biden.
And I remember what one of the people who helped me.
But hang on, folks. It gets worse. It gets a lot worse. Because the president says he's with us. He's there with the people of Lahaina. Let's pull up this video here and talk about it.
Today is burned, but it's still standing. The tree survived for a reason. I believe it's a very powerful symbol of what we can and will do to get through this crisis. And for this, for as long as it takes, we're going to be with you. The whole country will be with you. You know,
Joe Biden has yet to visit East Palestine, Ohio, right? So when he says the country's with you, it's what are you going to do for us? Remember, the Hawaiian relief aid is intertwined with the Ukrainian military aid. And don't worry, I want to give a huge shout out to Shut the Ife Up, Shite Libs, Joe from INN, because we're going to be talking about Ukraine. Because Ukraine's going to raise its ugly head. Don't worry. I'm going to save the best for last just to make you angry.
We will be respectful of the sacred grounds and the traditions that rebuild the way the people of Maui want it built, not the way others want it built. We're going to rebuild the way the people of Maui want it built.
That's not going to happen. All right. So look, here's what we have been seeing firsthand. Venture capitalists, corporations, large real estate developers are going to be swooping in like the carrion crows that they are to feed off the remains of the Maui communities. People of Lahaina, everybody, you got to work together. Don't sign a goddamn thing. People of Hawaii, seriously, you got to come together. Whatever differences you all might have had before the wildfires, y'all got to come together with that aloha spirit. I've heard a lot about it. Just giving you guys and gals a heads up. They're coming in, and y'all better be ready to push back. Boot up, suit up, push back. Because that's what they're going to try and do to you guys. They're going to say they want to build it the way you want. That's not what they're saying. That's all political speech, and I think everybody knows that by now.
But, it's going to be hard. But I also want all of you to know the country grieves with you, stands with you, and will do everything possible to help you recover, rebuild, and respect culture and traditions when the rebuilding takes place.
And of course, walking around. Now, look, I want to pull this up here as well. Now, many of you might be screaming at your iPhones, your laptop, and if you're listening to us via audio, if you're going to work, just a heads up. Maybe pull the car to the side of the road just so you're not screaming. Because people of Lahaina, Joe Biden's going to tell you a story about how his house caught on fire. And the people of Denver, Colorado are going to look at you and say, first time, there's a reason why I said what I said. Just listen carefully and don't go into road rage, okay?
I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense, Jill and I. Well,
Brace yourself. Brace yourself. 7 seconds in, just again, rewinding it. Listen.
I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense, Jill and I, what it's like to lose a home.
Oh, God.
Years ago, now 15 years ago, I was in Washington doing Meet the Press. It was a sunny Sunday, and lightning struck at home on a little lake. It's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond, and hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette.
Oh, wow. His 67 Corvette, his car, his wife, his home. Boy, he's making it seem like it was a wildfire. Absolutely wild. Listen to old man Biden tell his story. Obviously, the band, I'm surprised the guy with the guitar didn't just, put it in his two hands, just whack right outside the head. But hey, sometimes, you know what? I got to come to terms with who I am. All of you are better than me. When I go outside, I think, you know what? Everyone's a better person than me because I guess I'm on my anti-hero arc.
And my cat. But all kidding aside, I watched the firefighters, the way they responded. There's an old expression. I grew up right across the street from a fire hall in Claymont, Delaware. And the expression is, God made man, then he made a few firefighters.
What the hell does that have to do with anything? Seriously. I mean, I expected him to act like a senile old goat. I wasn't expecting it to be this bad. Seriously. He almost lost his cat, too.
You're all crazy, thank God. The only people who run into flames to help other people.
Yeah, well, hey, Joe, can you explain why then the United States Senate and House were hesitant to help out the first responders who were there at 9/11? Remember when Jon Stewart and everyone else was like really raising up a stink because of what you guys and gals were doing? Thank God for firefighters. You didn't think people were going to forget all that, did you? I know people might have short-term memory because everything's being bombarded to us on social media, but I mean, seriously, you're saying thank God for firefighters, just like how all the politicians say, support our troops, but then give the middle finger to veterans. I know. If you're a U.S. citizen, no matter what your profession is, you're always going to be at the bottom of the totem pole.
And they ran into flames, saved my wife, and saved my family. Not a joke. The smoke, and the firefighters here can tell you, sometimes smoke is so thick from the windows out, it was that thick inside the home. And we were insured. We did not have any problem, but being out of our home for a better part of a year was difficult.
I like how this one guy right there behind him is just kind of just thinking like, what the hell are you talking about?
I can only imagine what it's like to lose your home.
Now, here's the thing, Joe. You are a rich politician with many years in Washington, D.C. You're going to be okay. You landed on your feet, buddy. Everything's fine. As for the regular people of Lahaina, well, they're effed. Okay? They're screwed. They don't have places to go. Hell, some of them are still wondering where their families are at, Joe. So, way to bring up a pointless, indifferent, irrelevant story because you made it about yourself again, you jagoff. Just so you all know, it was a kitchen fire that was put out in 5 minutes. Why? Because this is an article that came out Tuesday, August 22nd, 2023. Hey, not 2023. I'm sorry about that. Correction. January 7th, 2022. This was a year ago. Apologies for that first statement. Obviously, here's the date it came out, January 7th, 2022. Watch Biden again adds fuel to a story about lightning sparking fire at his home. This is what people, Lahaina, the people of Denver, Colorado can relate to you. President Joe Biden appeared to embellish yet again the story of how a lightning strike caused a fire at his home nearly 2 decades ago. This time around, he was delivering remarks Friday while in Colorado to survey the damage caused by a rare winter wildfire in Denver suburbs that destroyed more than 1,000 homes and other buildings last week. Jill and I have not gone through what you've gone through, but we have had lightning strike our home and almost lose our home. Again, that is a lie, said Republican National Committee Twitter account said in a tweet that contained a clip of Biden's comments. Okay. It then cited a 2004 report from the Associated Press about the lightning strike that hit Biden's home in Delaware, caused a small fire contained to the kitchen that, according to a fire official, was producing heavy smoke when firefighters arrived, but it was under control in like 20 minutes. So again, he's talking about what happened. He was saying that the fire was out of control. No, it's an embellished story. It's an embellished story. So what's the response to something like this? How do people respond to this? The people of Lahaina are going to respond. Of course, Fox News is going to respond. And yes, we're going to get commentary from Tulsi Gabbard herself. Let's pull up this video here.
The president just told the people of Hawaii, listen.
I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense, Jill and I, what it's like to lose a home. Years ago, now 15 years ago, I was in Washington doing Meet the Press. It was a sunny Sunday. And lightning struck at home on a little lake that's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond, and hit the wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct.
Okay, Biden never lost his home from a lightning strike. He had a small kitchen fire that was contained in less than 20 minutes. And the fact that he went to Hawaii with almost 1,000 people missing, over 100 dead, and no one has a home anymore, and said, I lost my home too, a lie, when there was a small kitchen fire, that was pretty disgraceful.
But the people of Lahaina, all of you magnificent, beautiful people, you guys told Biden what you really think of him. Let's pull up this video here.
Wow, he's finally here. Wow, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for nothing. Fuck you. Hey, right here. Hey, fuck you, Joe Biden. Fuck you.
I could feel that rage, as they should be furious. But let's hear more from the people of Maui and the locals, because I can promise you this: don't be surprised if Hawaii either turns red or there's a low voter turnout in Hawaii. Again, remember, if you're a U.S. citizen, especially under this administration, if you're not for any way tying up money or giving money up to Ukraine, you know, you're at the bottom of the list. And don't worry, Ukraine's going to raise its little head here very soon. You're going to see it. And I got to say, whoever came up with that event, you need to get your head checked. And yes, it's real. It's very real. But I'll save that for last.
They got to Ukraine quicker than they got to their own state.
It's the first that any of you guys heard from President Biden was after the rest of the mainland knew that the fires were going on, that there was this chaos, this tumult, this tremendous loss of life. What do you say when the president of the United States says no comment and then goes bicycling?
What he's not doing, actually, for the citizens of this country, for the citizens of Maui and Lahaina, it's completely disrespectful. And now he's going to be coming here tomorrow, and all of a sudden it's going to clog up the roads. They're not going to let anybody through. It's going to slow everything down just so he can come in and take a look and do nothing yet again. So it's ridiculous. It's nonsense. And him.
Let me just say straight to you, President Biden, I pray for your soul. Just repent from your posturing and your lack of integrity and your lack of compassion.
When you're the president of the United States of America, you have to know what's going on. You know, you got all these people that surround, supposed to be advising you what's going on. For you to say something like no comment, I don't know. I can't even respond.
Mark my words, that statement, no comment, is going to forever haunt the Biden-Harris administration. And no comment is how I feel and what I say to vote blue no matter who when they ask me, are you going to vote Democrat? No comment. Asking me to support Democrats? No comment. Supporting Joe Biden? No comment. Donating to Democratic causes? No comment. Kid, how come Heartland's media doesn't cover the protests anymore? Because they do nothing anymore. That's why.
On to such comment.
We have the largest Marine base in the world, the largest Navy fleet right there. We can see the island. They could have been here in 12 hours.
I think that if he wanted to, the president of the United States or one of his chiefs of staff could have ordered military assistance from Pearl Harbor and the U.S. Pacific Fleet.
There's no question they could have done that. They did it for Ukraine way quicker than the response here in Hawaii.
Now let's talk about Ukraine. On Saturday, August 26th, Ukraine Independence Day on Alamona Beach Park, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. in Hawaii. Someone decided to put together a Ukraine Independence Day event in Hawaii. Hang on, I got to mute the first seconds of this. Let's play it. Try not to be shocked. Now for sound. Bear with me.
Aloha. I'm Natalia Andrievska. I'm Ukrainian dancer and a teacher. I would like to welcome everyone to Alamona Park for our event to commemorate Independence Day of Ukraine. You will be introduced to Ukrainian traditional dances like hopak, which represents merry spirit of Ukrainians. Also, another dance would be from Carpathian Mountains in Ukraine, named Dudariki, which translates wooden flute musician, who usually attracts many dancers. So welcome to have fun with us. Glory to Ukraine. Slava Ukraini.
Now, I see in the chat here, too, the live stream chat, y'all are saying, wait, this is satire. This isn't real. This isn't happening. What? Now, Octalash, you're actually from Hawaii. And you apparently live very close to that region where this event is taking place. And yes, this is from Joe. Shut the F up. Shite lib 3. I private messaged Joe. Because, I just wanted to see, hey, is this real? This can't be real. It's sort of like a meme, like, saying, hey, Joe, this isn't real, right? It is, kid. But it isn't real. But it is. God help us. It's very real. And it's legit. I mean, read the room. Read the room. Read the goddamn room. I told you this would get you angry. I told all of you you'd be ticked off. Live stream chat, all of you are just absolutely beautiful. I'm seeing all of you in the live stream chat right now, just yelling, being furious. I hope all of you are quite shocked. And the thing is, it is an event that is taking place. But finally, I want to at least end it on a positive note because I don't want you to be too furious. But I want to pull up the words of Tulsi Gabbard, especially in regards to what's happening to the people of Maui. Look, what's happening here is that the Biden-Harris administration, Democrats, and corporate media are trying to sweep this under the rug. 1,000 people are still missing, 100 plus people dead. Sirens didn't go off. Large real estate developers and venture capitalists flying in. Let's just ignore it. They're gonna try and make you guys forget this happened. Most deadliest wildfire, not only Hawaiian history, but in U.S. history. Let's play this video.
former Hawaii Congresswoman and Fox News contributor Tulsi Gabbard joins us right now. She's on Army Reserve training duty, and she got up early to be with us. Tulsi, good morning to you.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for your time and attention on the people of Maui and what they're continuing to go through.
Absolutely. Let's start, though, with the breaking news. So Joe Biden is finally going to, after saying no comment about the people of Maui, he's going to go out there, see with his own two eyes the devastation. But you've got, Tulsi, some climate activists and some members of Congress who are saying this is a perfect example of how the climate is changing and the president needs to declare a climate emergency.
Look, the thing that is most important to the people of Maui is that their leaders are supporting their recovery. So what I hope Joe Biden does as he is there on Maui today with Jill Biden is not only sees the site of the worst devastation, but also takes time to visit with and listen to the people in the surrounding communities who have been incredibly impacted by this, not only for the short term, for the long term. There's a lack of trust because of the failure to communicate, the failure to provide services, the people in these surrounding communities having been faced with a situation where they had no power. They were told they couldn't.
Now, let's be very clear here. Again, everything that Tulsi Gabbard is stating, everything that happened, it is very real. And unfortunately for a lot of us who are seeing this firsthand, we know for a fact that the institutions fail the people of Maui. Fail the people of Lahaina. What can we take away from all of this? We live in a day and age where corporate media, our two-party system, have made it very clear that they will put us last in line. The Biden-Harris administration have shown us that they are indifferent. Now, I want to pull up this video here because obviously on social media, there's a 30-second clip showing Biden falling asleep at an event. Now, thing is, I wouldn't say he's sleeping, but I don't think this is the face of a president paying attention. Now, the video and link I'll be playing is somebody who is obviously pro-Biden. And when you watch the longer clip, maybe it's not Biden sleeping. But you know what? I'm not going to say Biden's not sleeping. But I will say this. He's not paying attention. He's never going to be paying attention. This is the president of the United States. And he is not aware.
Like many others who left with nothing, they too were given clothes, food, and shelter by someone they may have never met before. We are a community that relies on family, on ohana, whether by blood or by friendship.
He's not there. He might not be sleeping, but he is not there.
But like many others, my son's home burned down. My daughter's home.
That was a jolt awake, just so you all know. I've seen that before. If you've taken care of your elder relatives when they look like they're about to pass out, here.
But like many others, my son's home burned down. My daughter's home burned down. My home burned down. My parents of 59 years home burned to the ground. Mr. President, handouts will not last forever. Lahaina is a not for sale.
He said Lahaina is not for sale. And the president's thinking, that's not what my business friends say. Folks, I wasn't expecting Biden to be that much of a screw up. Maybe I had a higher opinion. I mean, I expected him to screw up, but to be this stone-hearted, to be this indifferent, vote blue no matter who. Good luck with your fear tactics. Because if that's the leader that you want to follow, let me just break away. It's okay. I don't want to be part of your club. It's okay. Call me a villain. Call me a bad guy. But to all those latte drinking liberals, you vote blue no matter who's sycophants, you people have told us we got to keep our powder dry and hold Biden's feet to the fire. I'm talking to you, Fat Tony and Mild Malinsky. I mean, Jank and Kyle. If you guys are the good guys, I'm more than happy to be the bad guy. Because I can't in good conscience support somebody that weak, that frail, that senile. And the people of Maui, Hawaii deserve justice. The people of East Palestine, Ohio, haven't even been visited by the president. Things are going to get rough, and the only way we are going to get through it is by working together. There is nobody from Washington, D.C. that's going to help you, because those people in Washington, D.C., in the U.S. Senate and House are not human. So it's up to us. It's always been up to us.